Purpose of this video is to show you how to classify relations. Okay, by the end of this lesson you'll be able to classify relations into either functions, which can be one-to-one or many-to-one, or you can also classify them as one-to-many or many-to-many relations. We'll eventually look at these definitions and the vertical line test and horizontal line test. Okay, this should be HLT. Change that on your notes. Okay, so before we do that, I just want to show you a little PowerPoint video to, motivate this a little bit more. Alright, so let's have a look at some relations. So we've got this little scenario. A young boy named Ralph, age 6, has opened a candy store. His mother doesn't want him to get ripped off, so has produced the following graph to help him in the shop. This graph shows the price of the sweets and the weight of the sweets. So with this graph, Ralph can answer two types of questions. Okay, you can answer how much does 800 grams of lollies cost? So someone comes with 800 grams of lollies, he'll say, hold on, just let me look at my graph. You need to pay me $10. All's good. He can also answer how many lollies can I buy for $5? Someone comes with a $5 note, he says, alright, you can purchase 400 grams of lollies. Hey, it seems pretty good. So Ralph, here he is, he goes to the school the next day, and his friends, Joan, Phillip and Brianna, are jealous of all the profit that he has made, understandably. So they decide to start their own stall in competition, and they also get their mothers to help them produce some graphs to help them out. Okay, so Philip's mum produces a graph, and we'll have a look at his graph and see how it works out for him. Let's have a look and see if he can still answer these two fundamental questions. Okay, first question, how much does 800 grams of lollies cost? So Philip will go into his graph, 800 grams, that corresponds to a price of about $4.50, something like that. Okay, all good. What about how many, copy paste error, how many lollies can someone buy for $10? He'll go to his graph, he'll say for $10 you can have about 50 grams of lollies. Oop. Or you can have 950 grams of lollies. Okay, so he can't answer that sort of question because he doesn't have the right type of graph. Okay, he can't answer that question. Okay, poor guy. He'll have to just play with his iPhone some more time. Alright, we've also got Joan. Joan's mother, I'm not sure if she's actually 6 years old, has produced this graph for her. Let's see if she can answer those two questions that she fundamentally needs to be able to do to run her lolly shop. Let's look at the first question. How much does 800 grams of lollies cost? 800 grams costs either about 70 cents or costs about $12. Okay, she can't answer this type of question. Okay, her relation isn't the right type of relation to answer that question. Okay, question 2, how many lollies can I buy for $10? Let's have a look, $10, we'll go across. Yeah, she can read that off, about $350, 350 grams of lollies. So this one's all good. We'll look at this final person, Brianna. Okay, she's obviously crying. Let's see if there's a reason why she's crying. We'll ask her the same questions. So I'll ask her, first of all, how much does 800 grams of lollies cost? She'll say, well, it either costs $1.25 or $11.25. Okay, her shop's not going to work out. ask her the second question, how many lollies can I buy for $10? She'll say, well, so you can buy 100 grams or you can buy 900 grams of lollies. Okay, so she can't do anything at all. So let's review the 4 scenarios. We had Ralph, it was all good. He could answer both questions. Phillip could only answer one question. Joan could answer one question, but it was the other question. And Brianna couldn't answer either question. So that's basically how we're going to classify these relations. And we'll look at some more formal examples. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's have a look at this. So functions need each x value to correspond to only one y value. So let's have a look at these 4 functions, four relations that we had. So all of them are relations because there's some relationship between price and mass. It says each x value corresponds to a unique y value. So when I look at all of these x values, they should only correspond to one unique y value. Okay, so I know that's true for Ralph's graph and for Philip's graph. So I'm going to be able to divide this into these ones are called functions, okay, because for each mass there's only one price. So they both could answer that question, how much does 800 grams cost? Okay, whereas these other 2, for example, at 500 grams, I've got two different prices. These ones will just be relations. Okay, it's important to note that while these 2 are functions, they're still relations as well. Okay, so functions are a special type of relation. Alright, write that up here. Functions are a special relation. Okay, so I need to label these 4 types of functions or relations on the 4 below. Alright, so this first one, the best type of function where we can read it both ways uniquely, is called a one-to-one function. Okay, so this one is 1, 2, 1. Okay, each x value corresponds to a unique y value. Okay, there's just pairs all the way. Okay, the difference between the top and the bottom one is that many-to-one functions, some y values correspond to more than one x value. So when I look at this bottom function, this y value corresponds to 2 x values. Okay, so this is going to be called a many-to-one function. I'll look at these other 2. So a one-to-many function is some x values have more than one y value. So I'll look at this one of, I think it was Joan. This x value here has 2 y values. Okay, so this is one too many. And this final one, some x values have more than one y value and some y values have more than one x value. Let's have a look. This x value has 2 y values and this y value has 2 x values. Okay, so this is many to many. Okay, these 4 names that we've got here, when you read them, you can think this is really many x to 1 y. Okay, there's many x's, many meaning more than one, for the 1 y value. Over here, 1x to many y, to more than 1 y value. Might be a good thing to note. Alright, so that's essentially how we're going to classify these functions into these 4 categories. So I can imagine, alright, I've got my functions here, and I've got my relations here. Well, really, I should put the relations all in a big box. Okay, because they're all relations, and then the functions in there sort of as a subset of relations, a special relation. Okay, sometimes it's hard to, I guess, understand these definitions. So there's 2 tests that exist called the vertical line test and the horizontal line test. Okay, I've got a vertical line and a horizontal line ready to go. Okay, essentially, if something passes the vertical line test, it's either a 1-to-1 or a many-to-1 function. Okay, so I'll have a look at this vertical line test. So I'm going to pass a vertical line through the relation from left to right. To pass the test, the vertical line should cut the relation only once. So I'll grab my vertical line and I'm going to pass it from left to right through this function. See how it passes through the yellow line at only one point in here? So that first relation has passed the vertical line test. I'll do a similar thing with the one below. Okay, pass it all the way through. You can use your ruler for this. Okay, that also passes the vertical line test. Okay, if I look at these other relations, okay, we can see that Joan's relation is failing the vertical line test because this vertical line is passing through the curve in 2 spots. Okay, I can show that down in Brianna's one as well. Passes through 2 spots in many different locations on the relation. Okay, so if I can make a little grid here. So VLT good, VLT good, VLT bad, VLT bad. Okay, now I'll look at my horizontal line test for each of these. Okay, and hopefully then I'll be able to determine whether they're 1-to-1, many-to-one, 1-to-many, many-to-many. I'll get my horizontal line test out. Okay, and I'll pass the horizontal line through the relation from top to bottom. To pass the test, the line should cut the relation only once. So here's my line passing through from top to bottom. It's only cutting that line once. So I say that that has passed both of these tests. So we're talking about pass and pass. Should be a 1-to-1 function. Yep, and it is. I'll go down to, I always forget these guys' names. Phillip. Okay, my horizontal line test. Should probably make the line a little bit bigger. Pass it down from top to bottom. We can see already that the horizontal line is passing through that yellow curve in more than one spot. So this one fails the horizontal line test. And if we look at our table, okay, it passed the vertical and failed the horizontal. So we're in here, a many-to-one function. And that's what we classified it as. Great. Grab my horizontal line test, bring it up to this next function, pass it all the way through the function. I think that one passes the horizontal line test. It only goes once through the curve at all the points. Okay, give it a tick. So it failed vertical line test but passed horizontal line test, so it should be one to many. Yep, it is good. And for the final one, so sad. Okay, fails the horizontal line test as well. Okay, so she's got many problems, mainly because it fails both of these tests. It's a many-to-many relation. Okay, probably I'd say the key test is whether something is a function or not. That's really the key classification. But for the exam, you guys need to be able to classify all 4 types. I'll put my horizontal lines back in their box. Alright, it's a little bit more difficult to do, classify these when they're just in ordered pairs. So I'm going to avoid doing that for a few minutes while I think about it and have a look at this activity. So you can double click on your computers on this functional relation part and have a go at it yourself. And I'm just going to do the solutions. Okay, so press pause and do it yourself. Okay, I know what all these are already. Okay, I know this is many to one. I know this is my 1 to 1. I know the one many to many. And I know this one. Oops, made a mistake. You should be up there as 1x to many y. Okay, and you should be up here as many to 1. And you would make a mistake. Alright, so look at these in turn. I'll look at this this relation. Okay, and I can see that it fails the vertical line test. Even just looking at the y-axis, okay, we can see that vertical line of the y-axis cuts it in 2 places. Okay, fails vertical line test, passes the horizontal line test. Okay, passing horizontal lines, you won't get anywhere twice there. Okay, so failed the vertical but passes the horizontal. You'll go to your table. Fail vertical, pass horizontal, 1 to many. Okay, and feel free to use the table while you're getting used to it, used to these classifications, and it might help just to remember those 4 prices of sweet graphs to use as a guide. Okay, next one up. Vertical line test, it passes. Horizontal line test, it does not. Okay, and it sort of looks like that graph of Phillip's. Okay, I'll have a look at this one. I should have a vertical line. Okay, vertical, yeah, I'll get a vertical line. This is quality YouTube vision here. Copying and pasting. Yeah, that was a good work. Okay, vertical line test comes through. Looks all good. Horizontal line test. No good. Okay, so this one is going to be in the same location as the previous one. Okay, next one up. So you're really just pumping through a factory here. Vertical line test. Yep, so it's a function. Horizontal line test from top to bottom. Yeah, looks good. We've got ourselves a 1-to-1 function. This is hard work. Vertical line test. Yeah, looks good. Horizontal line test. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. So it passes both tests, so it should be over here as a one-to-one function. Feel free to just fast forward this, or you can just access the results. Okay, we've got, looks like a sine or cosine graph. Which one? Sine graph, well done. Should know that. Vertical line test. Looks pretty good. Horizontal line test. Very bad. Okay, so it is a function, but it is a many-to-one function. Okay, we got a circle. Okay, whenever you see a circle, think poor Brianna. Nah, no good. Vertical. Nah, no good. Horizontal. Over you go. Should be getting pretty good at these by now. Okay, check this one out. Vertical line test. Looks pretty good. Horizontal line test. No good. Okay, so this one is a many-to-one. Okay, clickety click, 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 click. Vertical line test, all good. Horizontal line test, yeah, it looks good. Okay, when it passes both, that's our one-to-one function. Almost there. Vertical line test looks good. Horizontal line test also looks good. Okay, so this is the equation of this circle, but it's only taking 1/2. Okay, so in this case we have, sorry, did I say horizontal line test look good? That looks horrible. That fails the horizontal line test. Okay, so this one is a function, but it's one of those many-to-one functions. Alright, so look at this one. I'll zoom it up to avoid any controversy. Vertical line test is looking, I say that passes there as well. Looks pretty good to me. Yeah, we'll call it a function. Horizontal line test, no good. Okay, so that'll be over here. Getting pretty crowded in the many-to-one section. Hopefully that's all of them. Yep, good. Alright, so the final part, so that you can, I guess, do all these questions and have a good understanding of what's going on, is classifying when they're just in ordered pairs. Okay, so I'll have a look at these ordered pairs and see if they have something in common, something that repeats. So with a quick scan through, I can see that this 8 repeats. Okay, the y value of 8 repeats. So we have one y value which has many x values. Okay, many x to one y value. Okay, so this is a many to one. Is it a function or a relation? It's a function. Okay, if you wanted, when you get, I suppose we could sketch these points just for demonstration purposes. Okay, so obviously this isn't exactly accurate. We've only got these points. Okay, so if I have my vertical and horizontal lines, which are getting a bit too far away, shouldn't have put them back in their box. Okay, if I grab my vertical line test, okay, I think it's going to be okay. All of, okay, when it passes through these points, it's not passing through any point at the same time. So it passes vertical line test, but the horizontal line test, hopefully this lines up, no. If I had a horizontal line test going through there, it'd cut through both points, so it would fail the horizontal line test, okay? Which is why it's a many to one function. Okay, so vertical line test would pass, horizontal line test, it would fail. Okay, the final one, I'll have a look at, see if there's anything common. So I see these 7s are common. Anything else? I see these 2s are common as well. Okay, so dealing with the 7s, okay, I've got many x values to the 1 y value in that scenario. Okay, but I also have many y values to 1 x value because of these 2 2s. Okay, so essentially what's happened here is we have a many to many relation. Okay, because if we look back at the definition, some x values have more than 1 y value and some y values have more than 1 x value. So again, if you just drew, probably don't need to draw all of the points, just draw those, I guess, offending points. So I've got 0, 7, that's a point. I've got 2, 7, that's a point. And I've got 2, 8 as a point. Okay, let's have a look at my 2 tests. Vertical line test is going to fail, okay, because that vertical line passes through both of those points. And the horizontal line test, well, that one fails as well because that horizontal line would pass through both of those points. Okay, hopefully all that makes sense. Please practice all these questions. Ask your supervising teacher any questions that you may have, regardless of whether they're employed as a math teacher or not. Okay. Okay, I'll see you in the future. Goodbye.